So there are at least 9, 10 palaces in the game, which is spanning over 100 and something hours. Very good game. It's my favorite JRPG right now. It is very good in terms of how the story, how to create characters. I think creating a character in Persona, I think Atlas does a fantastic job. They do a fantastic job because you can learn their identity issue, the development as the game goes on with you if you expand their confidant, and what they believe in, their purpose that they believe is for, for their life. And it's a very, to me it's a very interesting concept. 5 did it differently, because it's not about finding oneself. It's about more or less coming to terms with how society tries to treat you, and if you want to basically stand up to it and show what's real inside you versus just being basically a commoner or a simp. The game does that very well. And the game also does a fantastic job of how combat system works in JRPG. To me, I never was a fan. So playing this one, it was very unique and it was a good experience. I definitely want to play it again, but I'm going to start playing Ghost of Tsushima. I might stream that. It just depends on time frame and scheduling. Also, I do have SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom and Persona 4 Golden. I really want to get on stream because that game is actually kind of hard. SpongeBob is actually kind of hard. I'm not gonna bullshit. SpongeBob is pretty fun. It's pretty cool. Let's see. All right. Why don't we get started on this list? All right. So from left to right, I'm just gonna go in order of what the palaces are. Spoil alert. If you don't want to be spoiled, mute right now. Mute what I'm gonna say, because a lot of it is basically going into spoiler territory. So if you guys are getting into the game, or it is going to be very hard for me to explain what happens in the game if I don't spoil. So mute your mics, mute your audio, mute your thing real quick. We're gonna get into this right now. All right. So first things first. Each palace has their own unique name because it has a representation of an individual's fucked up ideology of what they want. So if as you progress through the game, you're gonna realize there's Kamoshida. He has lust. He's basically a horn dog. Can't control his sexual urges or tries to leverage people to basically have sex with him, and it's not good. That's fucked up. And if you try to twist my words, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you because I am saying that's fucked up and it's not cool. Next we have Madarame. His palace is the Palace of Vanity. Let me get a proper definition of vanity for you guys. So, excessive pride or admiration to one's own appearance or achievements. So, if you guys played the game, Madarame is a very prideful guy. It's not the same as pride, because pride is just being very arrogant, cocky. It's a different way. Vanity is very similar to, well, they're very similar, but Madarame is more focused on his public image than showing his real self. So in the story, Madarame has a public appearance where he's like not really rich, he's broke, living in a dirty shack, living with Yusuke, and trying to make images of art, works of art for his museum. But as you look at the game and you progress, it's just an art exhibit. But in his world, it is a. Let me get water. It is his museum. Museum of Vanity. It's what it's called. The Kamoshida's is Castle of Lust. We have Madarame's Museum of Vanity. Then we have, and I'm just gonna go this real quick. I'm not gonna really spoil anything. Kanashiro's Bank of Greed. So he's or gluttony. Just wants money and more money. Pyramid of Wrath. The Futaba Palace. The Okumura Spaceport of Greed. That is greed because he's just using worker exploitation and doing all this type of stuff that's not good. Masayoshi Shido of Pride, Ship of Pride, which is this one right here. I'll get into it later. And Mementos, or the Holy Grail. Mementos is the will of the people. If you don't know the game, or if you try to watch the anime, it is basically the will of the people of what they believe. So it's the best example, right? Coronavirus. This is the best example. Coronavirus, people believe, most of the general populace believes that it's real. There are others in California, other states that are currently rising with coronavirus cases stating that it's not real. So, as the public is divided, if you go to a state like California, and since the cases are rising, the public in that area believe that it's not real. So, in the game, Tokyo, which is the setting, the people do not believe that the actions of the group that you are associated with, the Phantom Thieves, believe that it's not a true, what they believe is correct. They believe that it is wrong. They don't believe it at all. They think it's fake. It's a hoax. It's bullshit. Just like what Donald Trump says every day. So I'm not going to try to split that, but take it as you will. It is very, very subjective fine line. So now, one last thing. We have, I forgot to speak of Size. Size is the casino of jealousy, envy. Hers is the palace with jealousy involved because she wants to be higher than everybody else, and she doesn't care and tries to topple everybody over, push each other down and try to get what she wants. And what she gets is declaring her victory. It's you see that more or less in the military side of things, where it's the military tries to enforce this ideology that it's not a family. They try to push it as a family thing, but they don't, in terms of basically showing that when you are working with people, they don't really care. They will push you to the side and take your credit for all the hard work you do, and basically just throw you under the bus for anything. If something bad happens, they will throw you under the bus. So, alright, and then the last one. Maruk, it's the Laboratory of Sorrow. The Laboratory of Sorrow is the new palace, the new DLC map for the game. It's not in the original version. To me, it is signifying about loss in Maruki's, in his arc. I don't want to go into it, because I don't want to spoil. I don't want to spoil it, so I think the best approach for that is that I'm just going to leave it as it is known as the Laboratory of Sorrow. Then we have Futaba, the Pyramid of Wrath. The reason it's named, I'm just going to go over the names and what they mean. For Joe's just tuning in, the reason it is named the Pyramid of Wrath is there is an incident in the game about Futaba's mother that happens. She passes away, and she actually, Futaba gets blamed for her death because because they believe that if Futaba did not existed, who's the character, I'm not going to go into her further detail, but I'm just going to go over the main details of the pyramids, of the palaces. The reason that they believe that, or the people that were with her, they said that it was her fault for dying. It was her fault for her mother's death. And putting blame on a child for their parents' death is not something you want to do. That is the most fucked up thing you could do to a child, because that traumatizes them to the point where they don't want to do anything. They want to be shut in, and just like how Futaba is displayed, it is the exact same thing that could possibly happen. And it's people want to do that. They don't believe that it is your fault if you did something wrong. And that's completely unacceptable. You should take responsibility for your actions. Whatever actions you do should always have a consequence. But you need to learn that people are not. They're always going to find something to blame in. They're never going to accept their mistakes or errors. And it's so shitty. It is so shitty that we live in a way that people believe that's acceptable. You know, there's so many things right now in this world. You can see it trending, and nobody wants to take a test of that. And I'm getting off topic, but all right. So we're gonna get started. This is my list. Feel free to discrepancy in the chat if you're there. Feel free to comment if you see it on Twitter, because I'm going to put this on Twitter and on YouTube. Feel free to give me your argument, because I believe this is a very perceptive thing. So I'm going to go in numerical order. All right, first things first. First things first is... Oh, shit. I am going over the Castle of Lust. So in the original, it wasn't as great compared to everything else, but in the revamped, in the Royal, originally I had it at D, because in the original it wasn't too long, too short. It was a little very short, and there was not much to do. So I'm gonna go under C. I'm gonna put that under C. It did improve a lot. There's a lot more stuff to do other than the will seeds and all that type of stuff. It is a very good palace. The colors, the design, it's very good. It shows what Lust looks like. All right, next, the Museum of Vanity. Where did I put it? I originally had I had this on B. I'm sorry. This one I will put on B as well. Originally, I did not like these two. In the beginning of the game, in the beginning of the original Persona 5, I did not like these two. I thought maybe these were not great. I thought maybe they definitely have a better chance as a combined dungeon, but in this one they started to stand out as their own separate, and it's really good. Alright, next, Kaneshiro. I do not like his. I do not like it. I do like the colors, and I do like the design of it, as it is showing gluttony, as wanting him, as you keep going into it, it's more. But I liked it that in this game, they actually improved a lot of the tedious issues that the original game had with this palace. It was a lot better. It is a lot understandable in terms of how Kaneshiro became who he is. They can go into more detail on that. And Makoto, best girl. Fortunately, her moment to shine does shine here, way more than the dungeon. Especially how the game processes as you keep going forward into the game. Damn, you can't see my hands. Let me put it down here so you can see my hands. As you keep going forward and forward, more and more into the game, it's very easier. It's a lot easier to go what you like to see how this palace goes. It wasn't my favorite. It was just the music is pretty good. It sounds like an ATM machine, but and the whole system is an ATM machine. But I just felt like the palace overall wasn't as exciting as one I'm going to get into. Futaba, definitely good improvement of the stage, like I said, but it's not as what I wanted. Futaba, Pyramid of Wrath, I like it at A. Although this is the least updated one out of all, the premise of the story behind Futaba and how she became to be, and the music here. Hold on, let me put a taste of preview. Let me put you my preview of this music. It is my personal favorite of the game. It is my personal favorite. There has been multiple. It is the best, to me, it is the best banger alert song. And very good overall. I can go on a days for it. It's very good. I like it a lot. Alright, next, Okumura. I'm putting it at D. It is the worst palaces of them all, to me, because you have the vibe of space and gravity, but there was not any issue of like feeling gravity. When you're in space, you're supposed to be a little bit floaty and jumpy. Like there's no gravity, so you should be able to have unique tricks with the grappling hook, and I didn't feel it in this palace. I felt this was the most time consuming next to Kaneshiro. It wasn't, to me, it was not a great palace. It was the updated boss fight is completely frustrating. It took me over 4 or 5 tries for no stupid reason, because they updated it, just because you have found, just because you have to kill everything as soon as possible and then fight him, which is annoying, because you know every weakness, which is a good cool tip, is that as you progress through the dungeon, you will understand and all know about their weaknesses and all that type of stuff. You will know that about their weaknesses of the bosses, of their section chief, the one below, the supervisor, the basic guy. And as you keep going and you're progressing more and more into the dungeon, you start seeing it more. But there was no vibe of space. To me, there was not a vibe of space, because in space, like I said, there's no gravity. You can jump, you can fly, you can like be up in the air for a little bit, and then like there's no gravity pulling you down. So if I try to do this, I'm gonna show you. If I do this, I'm gonna fucking jump. If I jump harder, you know what I mean. But with Okumura's, I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel like a uniqueness to the palace. It felt very bland and outdated. I didn't like it. Compared to Futaba's palace, and the reason why I marked it so high is that you feel like you're in ancient Egypt. You feel like the catacombs, the tombs, everything you are experiencing in that palace, you are experiencing it there. You are experiencing, it feels like you are in another country. You are in Egypt. It's burning hot. The sun is blazing hot. You hear the characters complaining about the heat. They're like, it's so hot. You complain, you hear it as you keep going and going into the game. That's why I marked it as so high. So, it is high for me. This is my opinion, my ideas. And then, alright, so after Okumura, you go to the Casino of Envy. The Casino Envy, I put this as S. The reason I put this as S, the music is top notch in this level. The fight scene with Sai is a complete amazing touch, especially with the punishment where the roulette as you are going, the roulette changes. It's very a very cool experience. I definitely love that. I love the vibe of a gambling because I am a gambler. I love gambling. You feel that rush. You feel the vibe of the music when you're going into the casino. I even, at times, myself, I even hear the casino music in my head. I hear this music. I'm going to play it right now for you just to get a little taste. I hear this vibe of... I hear this vibe. I don't know about y'all, but I hear this a lot when I'm still in the casinos in Vegas. When I was in Vegas, I heard it a lot. It was... I felt this vibe. I felt it more than anything because I felt like the game transfers you in a form that you're actually in a casino. Like Balrog stage in Street Fighter 2, you feel like you're in a casino. You have the playgirls showing their titties with the round 1 sign and everything. You feel that. In this map, in this level, you feel it. You feel this, especially. You feel it. You feel it. Especially when you're trying to get the coins and trying to go, as you keep progressing and progressing, you're gonna see it. You'll see it. 1 second. You feel it as you're going and going. You're feeling it as you keep going, and it's an amazing feeling. It's an amazing feeling because you feel like you're part of the game now. As you're about to hit the climax, the high point of the game, you are feeling it, and this level shows it the best as a turning point of the game because of certain events that occur. I'm not going to go over it because that's spoiled territory. To me, this game does this level does it an amazing job. This level does an amazing job of explaining. Damn, I should have put that. If you explaining about the palace, if that makes more sense. I should have done this before. I'm putting my Twitch stuff into the game, into the chat, so that so I can hear you and talk to you. So, now we're going to go over... To me, it's the best... What's up, bro? Yes, Helst, we are ranking P5 dungeons. No worries. I really appreciate you coming by, Runix. Yes, we are ranking P5 Royal dungeons. Royal. This is Royal. I don't know if you played Royal. This is my... my hot take. Yes, Casino. The Casino is the best. One of the best in the game. So next is Masayoshi Shido. To me, his palace is S. His fight is one of the best fights in the fucking game. Dude, I know, dude. Hold on, I know, like... Not romancing Sai is like a crime. It is a crime. It's bullshit. You can romance her in the anime, but you can't romance her in the game. What type of bullshit is that? That's so bullshit. Oh my god, I'm getting triggered. I'm getting a little triggered. You get friendship chocolates all the time. All the time. How do you not want to date? Okay, if you guys are gonna see real quick, how are you not gonna tap into this type of booty? Please, God, for the love of God. Who doesn't want a strong woman like this? Look at her! Look at her! You look at it. Look at this. It's... Look at her, dude. Oh my god. A girl that's smart, who has gray hair, that is not old, that has beautiful red eyes. Oh. My goodness, who doesn't want that? Yes, exactly, Helst. Exactly. Oh. But you can date her in anime, which is ridiculous. Oh, alright. Back on topic. Oh, of course. Kawakami? Dude, I dated her in the original. In the original, I dated her. I dated Kawakami in the original. Original version, I have dated Kawakami. Because she is Oh, we're gonna go in confidence. Hold on, Helst, hold on. hold on. We're also gonna do a tier list for social ranks, because to me they are completely different. In Royal, there is better characters than her. To me, I felt there is a better character than her. So I'm gonna go over it. We're gonna go over it. All right. So the next one is so for Mementos. Let me put a different song so I can explain Mementos. So Mementos. You're gonna kill me for this house. You're gonna kill me, everybody. I did not like this. This dungeon sucked. This dungeon is the worst dungeon in the game. Why you have clueless puzzles, basically coloring puzzles in the fucking game that you have to go in a fucking circle for. And then if you do it wrong, you have to start all over. And you have to do it within a couple steps. That shit doesn't make sense to me. That shit's annoying. It was not... I guess it was good in like maybe 1 to 2 puzzles. Like maybe in the beginning of the level, then I'll be like, oh, that's fucking cool. But it's in like half of the fucking dungeon. It's in half of most all the fucking dungeon. The whole dungeon is all color puzzles. Fuck, dude. What the fuck am I looking at? Dude, if I'm in the depths of Mementos, changing the will of the people, I want a way to change their heart. Not fucking doing coloring puzzles like I'm a fucking kindergartner. No, I don't want that. That shit's weird. I wanted something else, like maybe we're trying to liberate the people. Maybe something like that. Liberating their mind. Like how they did it, like how as you were going into the dungeon and you're seeing that with her, not with her, but as you're seeing in the dungeon of Mementos, you're going to see people that you've changed hearts, and you see it, but you don't see the essence of what it does. And I think that loses all integrity, all the dumb, like it loses everything. The credibility of the dungeon, fighting, going up to the tippy top, going to the tippy top of the dungeon and fighting Galbadoa. It lost its flavor. But the boss fight, the revamp of the boss fight is a fantastic boss fight. But the boss fight couldn't save all the boss fight did so much, but it couldn't save everything that the lackluster of Mementos Depths did. To me, this is the palace I did not like the most. But now, we're going to my personal favorite palace. This is my number 1 palace in the entire game. It's not just because it's new. It is because of how they told Maruki and how they presented him. So to me, S is Maruki. Maruki's palace. What is it? The Laboratory of Sorrow. There it is. That is the proper name. The Laboratory of Sorrow is my opinion, it is the best palace in the entire game. It is a palace that explains the mythology of what Maruki was trying to get, of what happened to him as a character, what happened to him in his all essence of the story, and how he ties in with Kasumi, how he ties in with the main character and Akechi. But this is only unlocked if you max out Maruki, you max out Kasumi, and you level 8 Akechi. This is the only way. To me, this palace speaks... I'm gonna keep fixing my camera, I don't care. To me, this palace speaks an example of a perfect level. It's perfectly paced, it is perfect. It is perfect in terms of how you have to do certain puzzles, how you have to learn about Maruki, how you have to learn about how he got his power, how he got his things, how everything worked. And to me, Maruki, that is why Maruki is number one. The final fight, the fight with the boss in that palace is the best fight in the